New Superman number 12. Me and Matt read this. Gene Luen Yang writing and Billy Tan on art as the last couple of issues. This is the next part of the current arc where we've got this giant kaiju-like turtle, which used to be a guy, who was discovered at the bottom of the ocean, and he's wreaking havoc. Delane is familiar with this, and we learn throughout this issue that she is also mythical, like him.
Yeah. So I like that it played with the Chinese mythology, just like Wonder Woman plays with Greek mythology. And it's not just, Bai Shi's kind of just like a carbon copy Batman.
Well, yeah, he's a person who put on a suit and some gadgets. He's the Batman.
Yeah. Whereas she's legit a snake that gained personhood. We
basically find
through meditation.
Yeah, Baxi tells this story that is basically a common myth, apparently, about how there was this turtle and two snakes, and the white snake and the green snake being our Wonder Woman here, Chinese Wonder Woman. And the white woman falls in love with the man, but the green snake also falls in love with the man. They both become human, and then she defends it, and the green snake, Delane, as a woman, because they've both become women at this point, falls in the ocean, or beats the turtle guy into the ocean, and then they both turn to stone, which is how we find him in the last issue as well. And we found out that it's actually Dr. Omen? Mong?
Yeah, Dr. Omen.
Yeah.
The
Ming Ming, that's what I'm thinking of with the word Mong. Ming Ming. But no, Dr. Omen, she'd found her. She found her in stone, was like a year ago? 2 years ago, they said?
Yeah.
It was recent. So she's actually been like in a stone cocoon for decades, possibly centuries. Yep. So that was a fun sort of addition to her mythology. Made her feel like a completely different thing. Basically, whilst they're fighting Kaiju Turtle, she actually turns into the snake against her will. Yep. Basically, the Turtle Man's kind of enacting this.
Yeah, he cut her in half, and she ends up growing like a bottom snake half, which gives away to a full snake. Which but yeah, Keenan and Baishi they help her. Win the day.
Yeah, they're fighting. Obviously, through all this, because the cliffhanger in the last issue was Superman Zero showing up, and that's a whole thing. They're dealing with him. He's more powerful. He's causing chaos. He actually throws the giant kaiju turtle into the city, which that's when all the other heroes, including the Chinese Flash and all that, they all sort of look at each other and go, "That's not what superheroes do. we have to get it out of the city." So then they all go in and try and take care of business. Ultimately, though. Keenan actually lets him go. But once he actually gets to him after the main fighting's finished, he lets him go because he is this lab rat who has been promised different things, and he lets him away, which I thought was an interesting bit of development for him. But of course, when they go and see Delane, who's in the lab, and they're trying to figure out what to do with her, Baxi actually reveals what he's found out. He's found out that Keenan's dad's been held in a test tube, in the lab somewhere. Yep. So he goes to confront Dr. Omen, and we literally end with the Star Wars cliffhanger of because he says, he says, "Why did you kill my mother?" or something like that.
Right, and she goes, "No, you idiot! I am your mother."
Yeah, it's definitely got the new Superman spin on it with the "No, you doofus! No, imbecile! Yeah. It was imbecile! No, you imbecile! I am your mother."
With an I. But yeah, it's just I feel now that. I feel like Yang's bringing this to a close because we're starting to get the story moving from where he was seeding this stuff out slowly before. I feel like he's kind of wrapping it up because even the stuff with the Superman Zero, we see clearly now that Master I Ching is the opposite. So the guy in white who poses Fu Manchu, they are literal yin and yang.
Yeah, because he's actually looking like a yin and yang symbol, and then yeah, and we see it kind of sets that up for us. They are the good and bad forces of the same coin, if you will.
Right, and so the one that's not I Ching, which we haven't gotten a name for him yet, have we?
Well, because I think up until then we thought it might be him. We thought he was actually secretly evil, but this is showing that no, there's two sides. There's two different people, or maybe it's the same person, but he Jekyll and Hyde's almost, where he
kinda, but yeah, he amps up the Prime.
Because thinking about it, we don't see I Ching. We don't see I Ching again though. After he's looking at the yin yang, and then then we see the white version We don't see I Ching
Yeah.
again, so it may actually be the same person, but he's turned into
Right.
the other version.
Yeah, they're just the different expressions, of emotions
Well, I mean, that
or
would
whatever.
make sense because yin yang's all about balance and balance with
Balance.
oneself, and
Yeah.
being
And that's what
both.
that's what he says too. Is like you always need yin to balance the yang, and that's where he goes with Zero, and kind of alters him almost. So I almost feel like he's going to become Keenan's Bizarro, in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. Or even his Zod, maybe more accurate.
Zod
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, no, I keep enjoying this book. I'm glad that it exists and it's there.
It's its own
Yeah.
little. I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously it connects to the main universe because Keenan does show up,
Yeah.
and it may be showing up in
But because
action
it's
and
in a
stuff.
separate country, it feels like
Yeah,
it's
it's just-
happening
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Well,
Its own
and what's
supporting cast
cool-
entirely. It's like its own little world where you've got your own set of characters. It's building up its own mythology with these Chinese myths and all these other things. And because of that, it feels like its own little thing, and that's actually really good. I mean, if it is wrapping up soon, if we end up with say like 3 trades worth, if we're ending about issue 8,
Yeah.
because this is issue 12, I can see it's going to about 18 or so. That'd be an okay run for a bit like this, I think.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
was
nice
just-
run.
Yeah, I was
Good
gonna say,
time.
I can see it wrapping up because it's been solid, but I don't think it's been performing fantastically. And it's done enough to end its story on its terms, but maybe not tell whatever he had planned next if he had an idea for
Yeah,
something else
I just-
after.
The only thing that made me think this is like we're getting Zero really quick compared to how deliberate the first 2 arcs were, right? And now we're getting Zero and Omen. Like I felt like we just had the Omen payoff. Like even the first hint that it was his mom, and now 2-3 issues later, she's out and out saying, "Oh no, I am your mom."
Admittedly, it's speculation, but you could be right. Maybe he's speeding up because he realizes, maybe they've
Yeah.
give him advance warning. All right, you're getting to issue 20, so you need to start maybe moving your thing
Yeah.
along, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if they have done that, I appreciate that they gave him the warning and said, "Look, you're going up to this issue.
Yeah.
This is that's what you've got to wrap
Yeah,
up."
I think that was something they learned before, obviously, in the initiative is they can't just cancel books because people get annoyed. Like if you cancel them,
Yeah.
when they have a dedicated audience. And I think this does have a dedicated audience. It's just maybe not big enough to survive indefinitely.
No, I'm digging New Superman a lot. I think it's. I hope that if it does end soon, that we don't just lose them. Like, let us keep these characters in some way.
I think we'll keep because obviously Keenan's been showing up in it was in action this week, so I think that guarantees he will stay around. And that likely means he'll call in his Justice League at some point. At the very least, his team, if not the rest of the supporting cast.
I'd love if maybe after this ends, if we do get like a mini, maybe like a 6-issue mini called Justice League of China, and we actually have them as a team or something.
Yeah.
I think there's options to revisit it down the line as like minis or specials or.
It definitely doesn't close it off. I think at this point, I'm looking at it and going, okay, this probably is going to end soon. Well, I'm hearing from my with the speeding up. I'm looking at sales numbers aren't amazing. I'm feeling, they're launching new titles, so maybe that's an excuse to go, okay, we can cull a couple of the lower ones. I'll probably wait till it's all finished and then read it all now.
As long as they've given him warning and he knows that where he's ending and he gets to wrap up the core ideas and plots that he's got going. But hopefully it leaves it open and we can return to these characters down the line, because it's actually what ended up being one of the better books of Rebirth. It's such a little pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And in terms of just being self-contained and kind of being its own little world, I think it's accomplished a lot. It's a really fun set of characters. You just have fun with them bantering, like the way they, like you can tell they're annoying each other, and like they don't like Keen doesn't like them, but they're kind of bonding anyway. Like it's really well constructed in that sense. And this had a giant kaiju fight with a giant turtle, so which I praised a lot last issue when it first popped up, but I'm praising it again because it's great.